Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore 1926. I have a bird in my face, just in case you wanted to know that. Like, he just made himself comfortable. I'm trying to talk, and it's like, I'm gonna smack you with my chin when I talk, bird. Anyway, continuing where we left off in Dante's route, still in chapter 1, like we just started, so. A few days later, we were at the salon, enjoying conversation and coffee after breakfast. Space, are you going to the library? Yes, I was hoping to. After a short, thoughtful pause, Dante began to speak again. We can drive you if you like. And not to worry, it's just a short stroll away. I don't mind it at all. I see. Dante nodded, his gaze falling to the cup of cafe latte in his hand. Man, the boy just wanted to drive you. Just let the man drive you, girl. Like, nah, don't worry about it. And he's like, just wanted to spend 2 minutes with you in the car. Like, he's not gonna say anything. You know? Anyway. You could just tell her that you're worried. Did you say something, Nicola? Nicola's like... It's adorable, but it's still shady. Nicola took a sip of his espresso as he looked away from Dante. Suddenly, Leo spoke. By the way, we're having a guest over today, right? Yeah, they should be here around noon. Guest? Does that mean Dante will be here for lunch, too? I suddenly reconsidered whether I wanted to leave the manor at all. I love that. We're like, I don't want to leave now. I want to stay with you. But it must be for work. I'd just get in the way if I stayed here. I literally just turned my head to look at my guide. Like, make sure it was on. And I like shoving my bird. Because he's like sitting here, like, to the left of my chin. My left? Like, I guess it's technically his right. No, it's his left. But if you were looking at me, you know what I mean. Anyway, my left. Like, I can't turn my head without shoving him out of the way. This is life with birds, okay? You just get used to, like, I'm not allowed to move my head because if I'm sitting here and my ponytail's low and then I turn my head, it pokes him and then he yells at me. And it's like, I can't help it! I can't itch my shoulder if he's on it because then he's mad because I disrupted him. Like, you can't turn your head, ever. What? That's right. Space, will you be back late today? Well, I was planning on visiting the church after the library, so no. No, we're not going to the church. I'm staying here with Dante. I should be back in the afternoon. Would that be alright? Well, if that's the case, you mind baking some torta al limon for dessert? Ha, it's good enough. Anyway, please. Leave it to me. Alright. I love Leo. Look, even Dante loves that I love Leo. It's been a while since I've had your torta al limon. I'll be looking forward to it as well. Shall I give you my share too, Dante? Hey. You know what that's code for. Just kidding. It's been a while since I've had your... Oh, you had the dessert I was gonna make. Never mind. Something wrong with me when we play these games. No, if you don't want it, Nicola, can I have... Don't worry, I'll bake more than enough. I hurriedly cut him with a smile. It's some kind of tort that's got lemon in it, and that sounds delicious. It's like a lemon tartlet. I don't know what it is, but it's something lemon flavored, and I'm here for it. Suddenly, I heard some noise coming from the entrance. Oh no. God damn it, guide, stay on here. Slides off. Like, having my cushy chair is nice, but it gets a little annoying when I have to, like, bring my guide over, like, my tablet over here, because I don't have a place to put it, because when I'm recording these games, my computer is on my marshmallow. It's just like a marshmallow-shaped footstool. And then I got a footstool so I can put my feet up. When I'm playing my Sims, I can at least use the marshmallow that my computer's on the way I always did. But, like, and then I at least have this side little footstool that I can use as, like, a table. But when I'm doing this, it's like, I have a pile of pillows next to me that my tablet will not stay on, and then it's so big that, like, I try to put it here, but then it starts sliding off my chair. This is just a fucking mess, okay? I was better off just sitting on my bouncy ball with everything up by the TV, and now it's like, well, now I gotta bring everything over, and then sometimes you're like, oh man, I left my I left my tablet over there, I gotta get up and get it. Everything was in reach before, now it's not. I'm laughing because it's just funny that I'm complaining that I'm like, this is much more comfortable, but whatever. Dante and Nicola are sus at the noise. Dante and Nicola quietly looked at each other. In the next instant, I heard an unfamiliar voice echo across the Falzone salon. Oh, yes! I was wondering. I'm like, is it Raul? Yes, it is! I love him. He's such a douchebag. But he's hot. That's the only thing. Anyway. And this brings me back. It seems as though nothing has changed. A young man with golden brown hair appeared. He walked confidently to the center of the salon and gave a sweet smile. Hey, you've grown quite a bit, Dante. You look just like Silvio. He extended his arm out for a handshake. I was like, I'm thinking he's like arms for a hug, and then I read handshake, and I'm like, what? Okay, because I read that wrong. His arm out for a handshake. To my great surprise, I realized that he was speaking to Nicola. He thinks Nicola is Dante? Should have got it? Is that like intriguing? Or intrigued? Because that's what it sounds like. And it's making me intrigued, and we're in chapter 2 already. Look at that. An empty silence came over the salon. It's been a while, Raul. I'm Nicola. Look at the look on his sweet little look on his face right now. After a second's pause, Nicola gave an indecipherable smile and shook the hand Raul offered. Nicola, as in Francesca. And that's right, Dante takes after his mother. Dante's over there like, shut up. I mean, it's kind of funny if you think about it, because, yeah, like, when Raul first showed up, I was like, why does he look like Nicola? Because he does! Like, that's the family resemblance that Dante didn't get. Like, I kind of like the fact that, though, if you think about it, they didn't make, like, say Dante look like Raul, right? And so it's like, so Nicola and Dante kind of look alike, like they could be related. You know what I mean? Like, they're cousins. Like, not all cousins look alike, but sometimes there is family resemblance. So you could see, with Raul being another cousin, that he looks similar to Nicola, and I'm glad they didn't do that with Dante. Then I would assume Raul would look different, and you wouldn't have 3 of them, because then it's like triplets, and that's too much. Because you know what I mean? If you think about the original game, and you're like, oh, and then there's Nicola, and then there's Dante that looks like Raul, you're like, they just look too similar. I like the fact that they're just vastly different, you know? I mean, I would expect that they would be. But sometimes when they make siblings, you know, like, they're like, they look alike. I'm like, you want them to be different if I've got to date them both. Because otherwise it's like I'm dating the first person again. I don't know. After shaking hands with Nicola, the man named Raul extended his hand to Dante. Dante looks so unfucking impressed. But Raul is wearing purple, and I love it, so. And now look at you, Dante, all grown up. It's been over a decade. Raul appeared unfazed by Dante's icy glare. 10 years already. How the time flies. I do feel awful, being unable to attend Silvio's funeral. But Rome is dreadfully busy as always. I couldn't tear myself away. This must be the guest they mentioned earlier, but from the exchange that took place before me, it was clear this was no ordinary business meeting. Seemingly at the precise moment before the atmosphere could grow any more tense, Dante finally shook Raul's hand. Dante's like, and this is where we do it, where it's like, it's about to get weird. Oh, okay. It was probably already weird, but, and there's no need for that. The things were busy for us all. I had to trim down the family business, as you can imagine. I see. I suppose you did. After the handshake, he turned to me and smiled. The only thing that I don't like is, like, if Gil is backstabbing us here. Because, like, Gil. What the fuck? We've always been buddies, and we've been friends, and you can't do that. You can't just do that. And by the way, who's this beautiful signorina here? You must introduce me. Dante's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with no. Space. I stood from my seat and gave a small nod. I'm pleased to meet you, Signora. My name is Spacey Adornato. The pleasure is all mine, Signorina. My name is Raul. Raul Ghirlandaio. Again, probably spelling his name wrong, but whatever. I'm a distant relative of the Falzones. I dare say you can guess what my job is in Rome. A relative of the Falzones? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've been saying Falzone wrong, too, like, for 2 games. Which I think we knew from the very beginning. I'm like, is it Falzone or Falzone? You know what I mean? But it's like, we're not Italian, so I feel like I'm not gonna say it with it, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, in Italian, would you say calzone? Calzone, you know what I mean? Say a calzone. Just rhymed it with that! Although, but then again, like, when they, like, because when Dante's little intro thing started, I was like, I'm pretty sure I heard Falzone, and then I was like, but is that, like, the Japanese way of saying the name, or is that, like, the actual way? And I don't know, but whatever. It is what it is. It's been 2 games. We're stuck here, so. Look, I can barely pronounce English words, so we already know that I cannot pronounce Italian words, so. It was not so difficult to believe. He seemed to bear the same good looks as the rest of the family. I mean, hello, duh, he looks like Nicola. His appearance was closer to Nicola's, perhaps because of the color of his hair. Pleased to make your acquaintance, senor. Please call me Raul. How positively enchanting you are. Is she yours, Dante? Or perhaps Nicola's? Or perhaps both? Also, not anyone's property, but both. Raul, let's talk in my office. But I'm perfectly fine out here. We don't have any gory details to discuss after all. How about we call for some tea and have a nice chat? Right, Signorina. You wouldn't want to be left out, would you? He winked at me playfully. Accept his invitation, decline his invitation. Oh, okay, this is the best. Friggin' Raul's over here winking at us like, hey, and Dante's like, don't you fucking dare. Dante looks so mad right now. He's like so cute. I love it. I feel like we should decline his invitation just because Dante is glaring at me. Like, his glaring daggers at me over here. Decline. Damn right. Okay, I'm doing what my boyfriend tells me, and right now he is glaring at me to decline this shit, so. Thank you for the invitation, senor, but I'm afraid I must decline for today. You haven't seen each other in a long while. I'm sure you have a lot to catch up on. And there's no need to worry about that. I happen to agree with the Lady Raul. Nicola intervened with a smile. You've come all this way. We must extend to you the same courtesy as we do for our other special guests. I don't know why I can't read today. To do otherwise is simply out of the question. Let's continue our chat in the office over tea. If you say so, Nicola, how can I refuse? In that case, I humbly accept your offer. Nicola and Raul both smiled as they spoke, but I heard a faint edge in Nicola's voice just now. Treating him as a special guest. Did that mean he didn't see Raul as part of the family? Raul's smile hasn't changed. I wonder if he understood. Or maybe... Leo, can you ask Julia to brew us some tea? Have her bring it to the office. Yeah, right away! Leo quickly stood and hurried off to the kitchen. Come, Raul. My office is on the 2nd floor. Come now, Dante. You don't have to remind me. And then, until next time, Signorina. Yes. I watched as they departed the salon. With a renewed silence left in their wake, I began to pick up the empty dishes as my mind churned with questions. This room's no different from before, either. It's almost as though Silvio were still here. Why have you not redesigned the office, Dante? It shouldn't be too hard to do. I left things as is because I didn't see the need to rearrange anything. And that aside, Raul, why are you in Berlin? You haven't been here in 10 years. It's because it's been 10 years. Time makes one nostalgic about one's past, wouldn't you say? I cannot see why you'd object, but my purpose here is merely to enjoy a vacation. Is that so wrong? You know what's really weird? I was just churning in my mind while I'm doing this. They added so many new side characters, but they didn't give us any, like, new routes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some games do when you get a fan disc. They're like, oh, here's a little, it's fluffy, and it's not, like, as in-depth, obviously, as, say, a route for a main love interest in the main game. Or, you know, even their route in a fan disc. But you know what I mean? Like, we've got nothing. So it's kind of like, huh. I don't know why, that just struck me, like, you know, we got all these characters and there's no routes for them. Not even like a little side fluffy thing. You know, not even like a spin-off. I mean, I guess I just really like how Biroshana did it, where there's little if routes. It's like, it's a little fluffy, but for your side pieces, you get something. And, like, you'd think in a fan disc, they would give you a little more or whatever, but, like, if you're going to introduce characters, I feel like you should be, like, giving us routes. But I think then it would also be like, okay, but, like, you can't give us little routes for new characters when, like, we didn't get side piece routes for, like Leo and, like, Oliver, obviously. You know? Anyway. Although, then again, I guess in this one it'd be really hard to do, because, like, how would you get, like, a Raoul side piece route? Like, Dante dies, and then you're just with, like, I think it'd be traumatic. Like, I guess, okay, they could have done it because in the original game, the Alternativa route, which is going to be the one we do after Dante, is the, you know, before the Henry route, was the, like, oh, it's kind of the ending where everyone's alive and we're all friends and you're not really dating anyone. That's kind of where they could have done a spin-off. So, like, okay, here's this route. Oh, and then, you know, depending, you could end up maybe having side little fluff pieces with certain characters. Because, like, why wouldn't we fall for Yuan? I mean, we fell for Yang, for fuck's sake. I mean, Yuan's just as much, slightly more trash. Just throwing it out there, like, you know. And, like, Raoul, he's kind of a he's kind of hot garbage, but, like, I'm here for it. You know, like, whatever. You know, maybe he could be slightly redeemed. They just threw him in here to be a completely one-dimensional asshole. So, like, you know. Maybe his second dimension, and he's like, I'm just misunderstood, man. You know? I'm just throwing it out there. They're nice to look at. We gotta... Oh my god, could you imagine if there was a route and you're, like, dating Eugene, and you're like, look, Gil, I'm just into your dad. We can be Gil's stepmom. I kind of want that. I don't know. They should really have done that, you know? Ugh. I'm not saying... Maybe they did, but I doubt it. Because I feel like that would have come up. Like, oh my god, there's, you know, side piece routes. But... And you wouldn't see so many people just mad that we never get Leo or Oliver routes. A lot of people like Leo. He's adorable and I love him to death. I don't want to date him, but you know what I mean. I absolutely would still enjoy a route for him, because him and, well, Lily, not Space, not me, but you know what I mean? They'd still be cute together. Not me personally, but I still adore him, so I'd still play that route and enjoy it. Anyway. I cannot see why you would object, but my purpose here is merely to enjoy a vacation. Is that so wrong? Besides, I have wanted to see you two for a long while. Dante, Nicola, well, when you think about it, you're both like younger brothers to me. I feel like Dante and Nicola don't believe a word of this. Yeah, they're both like, uh-huh. I've not yet decided how long, but I do plan on staying here a while. Is that so? Where exactly? I have a room reserved at the hotel in Toscanelli Avenue, so worry not. I see. If you had contacted me earlier, I could have arranged for you to stay at my place. Nicola, I do appreciate the thought, but I couldn't possibly bother you with my visit. Dante's like, I wasn't going to let you stay here. I shall allow myself to relax and enjoy my vacation. But let me know if you need me for anything. We could have dinner and talk about old times. No matter how hard I tried to focus on the book in front of me, I couldn't stop thinking about what happened earlier. I'll cut my studies short for today. I knew it wasn't yet the time I had planned to meet Elena, but I decided to go there anyway. Well, hello! Here early! Hello, where are the children? They're studying with Sister Sophia at the moment, so how about we have some tea in the meantime? I bought some really delicious treats today since I knew you'd be coming by. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Elena. Say, Elena, do you mind if I stay here a bit longer today? Raoul was probably still at the Falzone Manor. I wasn't sure how long he'd be there, but I'd rather not get in their way. Elena giggled and nodded happily. Why, of course! This is your home, you know. That's right. Will you be able to help out with the next provisioning? Do you have time? Absolutely. Although I didn't live here anymore, I still went to church and helped with the food distribution as often as I could. I'll still be coming here. I'll help with the provisioning. It'll be just like before. Isn't that right, Dante? Yes, and you're free to do what you want. How lovely. It's just so funny that he has to say that you're free to do what you want. What? No way. Like, damn right I am. I mean, it's 1926, so I guess it's different. But, like, it's 2023, Dante. You're damn right I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Like, 100 years ago. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm sorry. My husband said I can't, so I can't. Look. And the Falzone family will offer more support to the church than before. Because you bought me? I feel like I've just been purchased. Dante had still kept the promise he made last year. I'm going to assume we read this. Yes, promise. With the Lao Shu gone, peace returns to the town. Dante converses with Sister Sophia about the heroine's future. Rewind. I'm assuming we're Dante. On Wednesday morning, I visited the cemetery. I could usually spot Spacey in the garden, but today I saw Sister Sophia instead. Buongiorno, Signor Falzone. Yes, buongiorno, Sister Sophia. I greeted her with a nod of respect. Thank you very much for all you do for our church. And for Space as well. Okay, so we're still... I have to read the sentence to know who we are, sorry. I've heard that she's been given a great deal of freedom to live as she pleases. Every time she comes back to the church, she's always happy and smiling. I mean... Signor, please continue to look after her and care for her as you always have. I couldn't betray the trust of someone who saw Space as a daughter. I responded to her as sincerely as I could. Sister, let me reassure you of how much I care for her. She's a very important person to me. That will never change. I wish to always have her by my side, and I'm very serious about our future together. Oh, stop it, it's adorable. Thank you so very much, Signor. It brings me great relief to hear that from you. It's not that I don't trust you, but the men of the Mafia can sometimes be fickle. I feel like you could have just said men can sometimes be fickle, Sophia. It's 1926. I feel like you didn't have to say Mafia in there. Yes, I cannot deny that. A good man would remain loyal to his wife. Props, Dante, because that's fucking true. A good woman would remain loyal to her husband as well, I'm just saying. However, nearly all bosses kept mistresses. Whores. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I mean, it's okay if I'm sleeping with your cousin and I got Gil on the side and Oliver. Listen, it's not a secret if you're all involved in the man harem. I'm just saying, like, when you agree to come into the man harem, you know that there's just a harem of men. This is not a secret. It's not like I'm like, what? No, like, Gil knows that Oliver's my side piece. It's just public knowledge. It's not secret. Not like I'm cheating on him or anything. He knows. Listen, Oliver's a package deal when it comes to that. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, there's no secrets. A custom that had become accepted as a given. I value and respect her above all else. I promise to keep her from feeling any sorrow. I would do everything in my power to keep my word. His sister Sophia smiled gently and nodded. I understood that her concern was rooted in her love for space. Suddenly, I remembered what I had been told by those close to me, words expressing their concern for me. I'm not sure who's saying this, but I'm like, are you alright? If you're gonna live with her, you can't be too reliant on her kindness. The change of environment will be difficult for her, so you need to remember to be kind. You're not great with women, boss. We're worried. You should send her flowers more often. You're not great with women! I mean, how do you know that? Just because he hasn't tried? Or is he had like a string of failures? Like, I'm just questioning where that's coming from. Dante's just like, On second thought, it sounded more like nagging me rather than expressing concern. Then again, the fact we could talk about such things meant that peace really had returned. I suppose a life like this isn't so bad. With the conflict finally at an end, a new age was about to begin. A new future awaited us, one that I hoped would be blessed. And so I prayed. As the morning sunlight shone upon the church. Anyway, Dante had still kept the promise he made last year. Ta-da! Look what I have for us! I bought this at the Panetaria, whatever, in Creta! On the plate was a pink crostata dusted with a generous amount of powdered sugar. It looks delicious! Yeah, I'll be right back with the tea, so please wait just a moment. She comes back and that whole fucking thing's gone. I don't know what it is, but I bet it's good. It's got powdered sugar on it. And so, Elena and I enjoyed a chat like we used to over some delicious tea and baked goods. Powdered sugar is just fucking delicious. I mean, like, regular sugar, when you mix it in stuff, sure, but, like, regular sugar, but, like, powdered sugar? I can roll shit in that. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, think about, like, I prefer glazed donuts to, like, powdered donuts, but, like, you're taking, like, a little delicious treat, a little delicious baked goods, and you're like, you're not gonna roll it in, like, actual sugar crumbs, because you'd be like, wow, that's too much, but a powdered sugar, you're like, yeah, you know, I'm here for that. I don't know what it is. Something about the powdering of sugar just makes it better. Anyway, after some time had passed, I went to see Sophia and the children when they finished their studies. Shortly thereafter, I left to return to the manor. I stepped out through the back of the church into the yard when, oh, trouble is happening, whether we like it or not. Oh, Gil. Creta seemed to be as lively and busy as usual. Everyone went on with their day the way they always did. What gives? Is that a fight over there? It's funny because, like, okay, like, we always are outside the Visconti Manor and we're always this, but then that building in the corner, that's the Visconti Manor? Like, it just never, because that was what was on fire in Gil's route. Like, or no, it was Nicola's route. That was on fire in Nicola's route, right? But it's always here, and I always just assumed it was like a building to the left, like we were right outside the front door. You know what I mean? And never realized that it was the one right over there. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because when you're outside the Falzone Manor, you're seeing it in the background. So, like, but it just, I don't know why that never clicked until Nicola's route when that was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's been the Visconti Manor the whole time? Literally thought it was a door you couldn't see off to the left. Like, I thought it was in this alley. Like, the fuck is... My whole world was shattered that day. So weird. Anyway. No, I just came to do some shopping. But I couldn't just stand by and watch when a lady was being pestered like that. Isn't he one of Dante's? In the past, the police would have turned a blind eye when the Mafia was involved in some sort of scuffle. And things hadn't been the same since the government decided to crack down on us. Calm down, Leo. The police and Leo froze up upon seeing me. Seems to be getting awfully noisy here in Creta. How about we all settle down and let bygones be bygones? But... I get you have your people to appease, and everyone here's got some face to or another to save. As I spoke, I gave Leo a meaningful look. The kid picked up on it right away. He's a smart kid. He nodded his head respectfully before running off. Hey! Not so fast. We're still talking here, aren't we? Matter of fact, I gotta say I'm looking for a few new friends to help keep the peace around these parts. What do you say? I offered a handshake to one of the cops and passed a few banknotes through it. Fucking Gil! Private cops! Oh, Gil. You're so charming that, like, the cops are like, I mean, he's so charming. Sound good? Well, you've done a lot for us here, so... Grazie. The officers nodded quietly and took their leave. What the hell am I doing? What the hell are you doing? Are you gonna... But see, this is the thing. I don't trust... I'm not 100% sure I trust Gil in this route, and I feel like it's either gonna be like, Gil, you're gonna prove that I shouldn't have trusted you, and it's gonna make me sad, or I'm gonna have been wrong, and I'm gonna be like, I should never have doubted you, and I just really hope that I'm wrong, and I should never have doubted you. But, like, you were talking to Raul, and I'm just like, I don't know if that means you're gonna backstab us, or you're like, oh no, I told Raul I was gonna work with him, so I could get the info, and then pass it to you, because you're my friends. Like, that's what I'm really hoping for. But, like, I'm not 100% sure right now. You know what I mean? Because it's the Mafia, so, like, can we really trust any of these assholes? I mean, I love them. I don't know if you can trust them. You know. I stepped out through the back of the church into the yard when... Teo? Excuse me. Do you have a moment? I turned around in response to the voice. I was wrong, it's Henry! Where have you been? We see you every once in a while as Direttore, but like somebody mentioned, like, oh, he disappeared, and it's like, oh. But here he is as Henry. Oh no! I kind of just didn't expect you were going to be in this, so like Raul's voice kind of was similar, but it was like slightly, and it just kind of spiraled into that. Like the last time, I'm like, he sounds a little more like Henry, whatever. But oh, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad you're not dead. Standing in front of me was a rather beautiful man with a calm, graceful demeanor. Perhaps he came to visit the cemetery and was just crossing through here. It's funny because as Direttore, the voice works, but as Henry, it really doesn't. But, like, too bad that's the voice he has, right? I have been meaning to find out more about you, but I never expected to see you in person. Oh, what fortunate timing. Huh? Before I could figure out what was going on, the man continued. How is living with the Falzone been? How do you know that I'm living with the Falzone? My voice came out slightly higher than I expected, but he only smiled. I don't need to be so alarmed. I'm not particularly familiar with the affairs of the Mafia. But it seems to be common knowledge here in town. Dante Falzone did not choose a woman from a noble family, but instead chose a woman of golden hair from the church. I didn't know people were talking about it. Everyone who came to church treated me no differently from before, even after I moved in with the Falzone family. I had no idea the story was being spread around. Then again, I shouldn't be surprised. Dante was the boss of the town's largest mafia family. It was only natural that everyone would have their eyes on him. I don't know much about living with the mafia, but I imagine it must be tough. His tone wasn't one of idle curiosity. In a strange way, it seemed as though he was sincerely concerned about my well-being. Better choose my words wisely. I love you, Henry. Take me away. Actually, no, but not really, though. I love Dante, so... I'm enjoying myself. It can be tough at times. I feel like we should say I'm enjoying myself, because if we say it can be tough at times, well, true, that almost leads it to be like, oh, yeah, no, it's really hard. Save me, Henry. And I don't think we want to give him that thing. I'm sorry. I have to adjust my shirt rolled up, and then my guide's falling all over and everything, and the bird... God, he just jammed himself into my windpipe. I think we should say I'm enjoying myself. Fuck yeah. I am so good at picking the answers for Dante's route. I swear to God, like, I'm not seeing them before I scroll up. Like, I keep it hidden. Sometimes accidentally, like in other games or whatever time, I've scrolled up too far, but not this one. And I'm doing good in Dante's route. In other ones, I did so bad and we would have been dead, but... I say that, but the next time we get a choice, everything from now on is going to be wrong. Not to worry. Life with them has been very enjoyable. I mean... Enjoyable, you'd say. He repeated my reply in a quiet mumble. Of course, things weren't always easy. but Dante and many others who lived or worked at the manor had taken good care of me. For a brief moment, I reflected on the odd notion that I would ever ascribe the word enjoyable to a criminal organization. I mean, right? But I want to be careful to not shame Dante with anything I say. He shifted his eyes away from me. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'd better get going. Perhaps we'll meet again. I assumed it was Teo, but Henry's still here, huh? Still feeling somewhat confused, I watched as he departed the church grounds. Because I feel like Henry showed up in other routes before, we were supposed to figure out he was the Phantom of the Casino. Listen, you don't put the Phantom of the Casino on the freaking game cover, and not make me assume that we're gonna date the man. And technically we did, you know what I'm saying? But he's front and center on the center of the original game cover art. Come on. Come on. Come on! On the way back to the Foul Zone Manor, I couldn't help but think about the person I met earlier. I suddenly encountered a familiar face that I hadn't seen in a while. Marco's not dead! We saw Marco in, Gil's route, maybe, but we haven't seen him since. He died in a couple, apparently. Hey, Space. Buongiorno. I don't remember his voice, but it's okay. Buongiorno, Marco. It's been a while. I'm glad you're doing well. It's I can give him this, I will have old lady voice. I don't have old man voice. Yeah. How have you been lately? Having any problems? How are things with Dante? Not the voice he had. I can't quite remember where it was, but anyway. I smiled and tried my best to answer Marco's questions. Everything's been fine. Dante and everyone else have been treating me very well. Oh, you don't say. The men of the Foul Zone are really devoted to their wives. Huh? But I'm not married to Dante yet. No, wait a second. What Marco just said didn't seem like it was specifically about Dante. The men of the Foul Zone? You mean Dante's father as well? Well, yeah. Look at the smug look on. He's like, heh. Marco gave a wry smile. He took a look around us, almost as if to signal me that we may be being watched. Ah. If it were up to me, I'd escort you back to the Foul Zones, but things are different, see. The Mafia had new obstacles to overcome ever since the government began to impose stricter laws against crime. The police in particular had seen many drastic changes of their own. I mean, Jesus, you just can't live an honest life of crime anymore. So funny. I'm sure being seen with me out here isn't doing him any favors. Don't worry, I know the way. Sorry. Marco apologetically scratched his head. Oh, okay, we're going straight to the decisions. No thoughts first, just decisions. Oh, and we're Gil. Oh, Gil. Gil! Dante, what is it? Leo? Yeah, that's true, but... Is that what you called me? You didn't have to. Well, guess it's just your way. Don't worry about it, it's fine, really. You've done stuff for me, too. Right back at ya. Uh-huh. Yeah, see ya. Oh, Oliver! Stop! Don't let Gil hurt us! We'll have to take you away from him. You shouldn't be seeing these things, Oliver. After I hung up the phone, Oliver picked up where we left off. I will abide by your judgment on this. Whatever you decide will be the correct choice. That said, are you positive about this? I made the call already. Not exactly like I had a choice in the matter. Oh, no, Gil, this makes me feel like you're gonna backstab us. And then we're just gonna feel bad about you having to backstab us. Anyway. And then we do thoughts, obviously, yes. I'm not sure if we're now Henry or if we're Teo. Right? I sometimes wish... Well, we know Teo's name, so it would say Teo, wouldn't it? But we don't know Henry's name yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with... It's probably Teo because I'm gonna read it as if it's Henry. But we met Teo already. You know what I mean? Wasn't it in this one? Wasn't it's been a couple of days since I played the honestly. We ran into him and he was like, "Oh, I'm Teo," and we showed him the way. So it would say his name, but I'm just gonna assume it's Henry. Because we just saw him and, like, maybe he's following us. But anyway. And the key maiden of this generation is certainly working hard to serve the Falzone's mission, isn't she? How amusing. This... Is that, like, Teo's jaw? Because I don't think it's Johan. That's definitely Teo. So then it's kind of like... So this is... But see, here's the thing. Like, shouldn't... I'm very confused. I'm trying to find the pictures of our secondary... Our newbies. Yeah, no, that's definitely Teo's mom. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Johan's hair is shorter. Okay, so you wouldn't see it peeking out. Yeah, okay. My movements in public are naturally very limited. I need help from someone outside of the church. You want to exact your revenge, don't you? If not, you wouldn't have gone into hiding all these years. I'm sure we'll be great friends. That man, behaving as though he wasn't fully intent on using me. Yeah, okay, so then this is like... This makes sense if it's Henry talking about Teo. Since I'd heard the church's plans from Emilio, the Falzone's blood seemed more like a curse than ever. And that family's been shackled for generations under the guise of this so-called mission. And perhaps the one who chose the key maiden is being kept in captivity. I wonder if he would have been happier had he not done so. I had no right to judge. However, I did understand one thing. Silvio should not have been condemned for not choosing Chloe to be his. Still, though I understood it, it couldn't be forgiven. Oh, that's true, because wasn't that his sister or something? No. I'm not a saint, nor am I even a good man. I'm only a murderer. Poor precious Henry. Right? And then, like, because something... I forget what happened to her, but, like, didn't he blame the Falzone and everything for, like, her death or something? Because, like, obviously... And then that kind of makes me think... That whole spiel right there makes me think of it like, oh, well, like, he shouldn't have been blamed that he didn't pick her because he didn't fall in love with her, you know what I mean? Like, he married his own wife, like, whatever, but then that led to something happening to her, maybe? I don't remember, but anyway. Let's have a chat about this another time. Be safe on the way back. I will. Grazie, Marco. Marco, as much as great, it was nice seeing you. Please don't come back, because I can't do a voice for you. I don't know why. It's just not working. We parted ways with a smile, and Marco waved a hand as he took his leave. Like, good to know you're not dead. Okay, don't come back. No offense. We like you, but just... Also, Roberto's been, like, fucking MIA, considering the fact that his father's fucking up all of our shit. But I don't remember how many, like, routes he's dead in. It was late at night. He was alive in gills. We saw him and Marco for half a second, and then it was it. And do you mind if I come in? I heard Dante's voice from behind the door. Just a moment. I draped a robe over my negligee and hurriedly opened the door to let him in. Carlo leapt down off the chair and made his way to Dante, rubbing against his legs as he circled them. Oh, you're here too, Carlo. You must really like her, don't you? Same as me. Yeah, he also likes to curl up in my lap and purr. Dante bent down and scratched Carlo under the chin with his finger. Seeing Dante and Carlo getting along like this was such a comforting sight. Something happened today, Dante? I believe I mentioned it last time, but I'm here to help you with your studies. Really? Dante gently patted Carlo on the head before standing up and smiling gently at me. I'm finished with work for today. Of course, if you're tired, we can do this another day. I'm fine, really. So glad you have some time, Dante. I was just reading this book in English, too. There's a part here I don't really understand. Let me have a look. Great. I sat next to Dante on the sofa and opened up the book to the page in question. I'm gonna have a CG of us, like, just sharing a book together. It's how adorable. I heard you only started studying English in earnest recently, but You're handling it very well. It seems you already understand basic grammar and sentence structure. Really? It's great to hear. I'm really trying my best. Still, I don't understand this part very well, even after checking the dictionary. You're reading books on economics, too? Well, yes, the subject sounded interesting. He's like, girl. The subject sounded interesting! He's like, your acting is horrible. Reading this part alone can be confusing. The surrounding context will give you clues as to the meaning it's trying to convey. See? First, you can read the entire section to get a general grasp, then look into the details after that. Your fundamentals are solid, so you should be able to understand everything with a bit of time. The rest is learning vocabulary, much of which I assume the dictionary didn't contain. You're right about that. I'll teach you what you need to know, so just take notes on anything you have questions about. Really? Thank you, Dante. It'd be so helpful. He turned the pages, reviewing the text, then stopped just before a new chapter. Let's see. I'll give you a reward if you can translate up to here. Oh, girl! We're gonna translate! A reward? Like, a reward? She's innocent. A reward? Like a piece of candy? And I'm over here like, a reward? Dante paused for a moment. Although, here's the thing, Dante's like, yeah, I'll have sex with you. That's more a reward for you than me, but like, alright. You know what I mean? Like, how is that rewarding me? I think you get a lot out of that too. I love him. Cioccolato. I'm assuming a chocolate tort. Anyway, how about a special dessert? There's a famous bakery in Rome, well known for its torta alla. I'm assuming it's supposed to be chocolate, but it's a cioccolata? Can't pronounce it. Cioccolato. Sorry. A rich chocolate cake. There you go. Really? I can't wait. I'm gonna study even harder than before. Oh, meanwhile story. Yes. Discontent. Oh no. Oh no. These titles scare me. Oh, wait, what? Oh, Lee's not dead this time. Oh, Lee's been dead in everything. Wasn't Lee even dead in Yang's route? Lee hasn't been around in a while either. None of our side characters died. Thank God Oliver was always alive, except for in Nicola's route. In this game where he died. Just gonna need a minute. Anyway. Yang gone and me being second in command. I should be the new leader. But instead... Why did the Lu Huanhu send me a brat like you? I love how they all just call each other brats. And that's just their thing. Like, what are you asking me for? All I know is I came here because Yuan told me to. Go ask him if you're so curious. I have no intention of stepping on the tiger's tail. You're smarter than you look. Listen up. Here's some advice. Don't expect that a measly kid like you can live very long here. I don't know. Rui was pretty good. And like, you know. I'm so scared. Well then, I'm gonna use whatever room's open. Looking forward to working with you. Second in command. I could see right through Yuan's decision to send him here. Yuan doesn't see me as fit to lead the Lao Shu. Following Yang's death, only remnants were left of the Lao Shu's former glory. Nothing we did was generating profit. All we were doing was looking over our shoulders in fear of the other two organizations. Which is why he sent Rui here to do more than I could. Not to mention he's Yuan's right hand. Still, Yuan and Rui knew nothing. Knew absolutely nothing about this town. The kind of place where Yang could be killed. Make the wrong move and you'll be following him, idiots! Where Yang could be killed. I know, right? I mean, Yang was pretty hard to fucking kill everywhere, and it's just kind of amazing that, like, he's dead and Lee's still alive. That makes me a little sad. Poor Yang. I always feel bad when our boyfriends are dead in other routes. You know, you're like, aw. Wait. Has Gil been dead in any of the routes? Like, was Gil dead in Yang's route? Because otherwise, I mean, he obviously wasn't in his own. He wasn't in Orlok's. He wasn't in Nicola's because, Oliver died there. But, like, I can't remember in Yang's route if he was. Nicola's been dead in every motherfucking route except his own. And this one. So, like, okay, he's managed to survive, like, two. He's 2 for 5 now. Let's see if he can make 3 at us, like, if he can make it halfway through the game. But I don't think Gil's been dead in any of them. So, like, Gil fucking survived, like, all the routes? Or was he dead in Yang's? I can't remember. Somebody remind me. We'll be done with Dante's route by the time I see the comments, but, like, maybe. Because, honestly, I'm gonna get a little behind. I had to upload extra stuff, like, an extra week, and I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have anything for the following. That's just because I wasn't gonna be able to upload. And I'm like, shit. Like, all of Nicola's route is almost uploaded, and I'm like, fuck, I don't... Oh, life is a struggle right now. Good lord. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, he was gonna buy us dessert. Really? I can't wait. I'm gonna study even harder than before. As Dante and I continued to review the text, we spoke at length about other topics as well. The time we spent together like this filled me with happiness. I mean, can I just throw it out there that, like, I'm pretty sure we had so many instances of getting nailed in Gil's route, right? I think there were a couple in even Nicola's route where you're like, oh, things are happening. Never in Orlok's because I think he barely touches us. Like, if he holds our hand, he has to go, like, freaking say a couple Hail Marys or some shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's a good little church boy, so that's never going to happen. We're going to have to get married, be married for about 3 years before he'll even consider it. I'm just saying it. Fine. But, like, and God knows Yang never kept his hands to himself ever. But, like, I feel like even in Nicola's route, I was like, are you gonna, like, and Dante, get on it. And by it, I mean me, Jesus. I mean, I don't want to read it, but I just want the whole, like, and we spend all night in each other's arms. Yeah, thanks. Okay. That's all I want. I just want to know what's happening, As someone who, in the real world, is like, please don't touch me, and I'm not here for any of that, and I want none of it, I'm here for it in my games. It's just bizarre. My brain is here for that. The rest of me is like, nah, please don't touch me. Very weird state of being, but anyway. I looked up at the clock to see that it was nearly midnight. Dante followed my eyes up to the clock and blinked in surprise. This late already. I suppose we should wrap things up for tonight. And do you have any last questions? Yes, please don't leave me. I mean, will you stay? I think I'm fine for now. Oh, but there's something I wanted to ask Dante. It doesn't have anything to do with my studies. That literally just said it doesn't have anything to with my studies. It doesn't have anything to with my studies. God damn it, Tim. May I ask about your father? Oh, Dante doesn't look happy. Glare. I ran into Marco earlier today and spoke with him a while. He mentioned a little bit about your father. What about him? Nothing much, really, just that I relayed to Dante what Marco had said. I also explained that I took it to mean that he was referring to Dante's father. Are you sure it was my father he was talking about? Well, that's what I thought. Dante frowned a bit as he fell deep into thought. Come to think of it, Dante hasn't really spoken much about his parents before. I decided to pursue the subject. Don't mind, Dante. Can I ask what your parents were like? She's like, you remember them. I don't remember my parents, so, I'm just throwing this out there with you. Like, I don't want to talk about my parents. Well, at least you have them! Yelled him. He looked troubled at first, but finally began to speak. Oh, right! We have to have flashback to Baby Dante. But didn't we already have Baby Dante in, like, the first one? So it's, like, not anything new. But maybe it's going to be, like, Baby Dante instead opposed to, like, Baby Dante at his father's funeral. Like, you know what I mean? Where you're like, look, he's cute. This is going to be, like, toddler like, legit baby. We get a baby CG of all of them, so this would be a good time for it. My father was a clever and ruthless man, and perhaps the perfect boss for the family. I don't recall much about my mother. All I've been told is how much I take after her, in particular the color of my hair and eyes. I recall Raoul saying something similar. Yes, I think the characteristics of the Falzone bloodline is more pronounced in Nicola than in myself. And Nicola now actually looks very much like my father. I don't blame Raoul for making that mistake. However, my father wasn't as friendly as Nicola is. Even from my childhood, I can only remember the intimidating look on his face. Oh my god, look at his fucking face right now. It's so sad. Too busy reading to look at his sad face. Stop it. He's so precious. I can't handle it. I just want to hold him and pet him. There were times when my father seemed to love Nicola more than me. As a child, I thought my appearance was one of the reasons why. Oh! Maybe it just hurt him to look at you because you reminded him of his wife and he missed her. That's so sad. I mean, I get it, but it's also, like, sad. Your poor child. He smiled as if to disguise the emotions that were surfacing as he spoke. Oh my god, just cry. We'll hold you and pet you, don't worry. I don't know the exact details, but my parents apparently were wed for political reasons. And my mother was in poor health, and most of my memories of her were seeing her bedridden. Although those memories are few, I believe she was very beautiful and kind. Is this really something you want to know? I just want to protect you. Of course. These are stories about your life that I didn't know before. I like listening to you. Besides, I don't have any memories of my own parents to talk about. That's right. We so killed him. Besides, I don't have family that I remember, so, like, whatever. And he's like, oh, right, yeah. Dante looked at me again, his brows slightly furrowed. He seemed to want to say something. But he looked so sad. Carlo, who had been resting quietly on the bed, must have decided this was his last chance to rub against Dante's legs. Stupid cat, distracting my boyfriend! Dante smiled kindly, picking Carlo up and holding him in his arms. Bird, put her down. I'll give you the boobies in a minute, okay? Put her down a minute. Finishing this recording, got a few. Getting feisty. Hear him honking? Very quiet, but he's like, meh, meh. Fuck. Really, you've grown so much. You used to be so small. Yes, it seems like just yesterday that I first met him here as a kitten. Oh my god, on that CG with Dante and the cat. I was really wondering if they're going to flash back to that, because I'm not going to be opposed to that. Dante? To think of it, my mother owned a cat as well. Really? Yes. And perhaps the reason I thought of bringing him to you when I heard that you were lonely was because of a subconscious memory of another cat that lived in the manor long ago. She occasionally walked around the salon as though she owned the place, but most of the time, she never left my mother's side. Did you get along with her, Dante? Me? He closed his eyes as he tried to recall the past. I don't think we get... Oh, that's okay. I thought it was flashback memory, but this is him talking. I don't think we got along at first. Or rather, I didn't know how small animals like her would react. I was afraid that she'd get hurt somehow if I touched her. I suppose she sensed my anxiety, which is why she avoided coming near me back then. I don't remember when things started to change, but we slowly became comfortable with each other. Oh my god, stop it! I'm gonna die! Oh my god, my heart! Oh. Okay. I knew we might get a baby freaking Dante CG, but I didn't think it was gonna punch me in the feels. I might actually cry because this is like the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, stop it! Oh my god! All the other ones, you're like, oh my god, they're adorable. Except for Nicola looked like possessed and whatever because he just saw his mother dead. So, like, that was a traumatic one. But, like, we had the traumatic baby Nicola CG, and now we have this, which is, like, the cutest fucking thing ever. He's just... Baby Dante's just curled up with a fluffy kitten. Stop it! Oh, God. Oh, I think my heart stopped. Oh, God. I'm not gonna be able to... There's not gonna be anything after this, because I'm gonna literally die. I'm gonna curl up on the floor and die. This is... Oh, my God. I can't handle this. Holy shit. This, of all the CGs that are gonna slap me in the face with the feels, it's gonna be this one. But like, fuck. Goddamn. Sorry, bird. I remember how happy I was when she finally let me pet her back. Let me pet her back. And she then started to appear outside of my room, and soon enough, she began following me. I'm gonna die. This is the cutest CG. Like, I just want to weep with joy. How fucking adorable this is. We would take naps out in the garden on warm days, and Julia would scold us for chasing each other around the manor. My bird is trying to step on my face. Its tiny little toes are tickling, sorry. She was a good friend to me. That's so fucking cute, I can't handle it. Also, his little short pants with the fucking sock garters, stop it. And the time I could spend with my mother was limited, and her physical condition didn't allow me to ask much from her. My father was never one to spoil his children, and perhaps I just felt like I was alone back then. Children/child, because he only has one. I love his little fucking, like, sweater vest and his little shorts with a little sock garter. And then he's just curled up in the grass with a fucking kitten. Oh my god. That's why you brought Carlo to me? Yes, that's why. Dante, I'd like to hear more about your childhood. Oh my god. It's already late. I wondered if Dante let Carlo go, or maybe he slipped out on his own. After disappearing from Dante's arms, Carlo went to rest on his favorite spot on the sofa. I should have some more time tomorrow evening, so we can continue your studies then. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Dante. I hesitated a little, but decided to inquire about whether he really had to leave. Did you have anything planned for early in the morning? She's like, can you stay? Because after seeing you curled up with a kitten, I just want to pet you. Not exactly. Would it be alright if I stayed? You're like, I was afraid that if I stayed with you any longer, I might end up inadvertently depriving you of sleep. And he's blushing! He's like, I might accidentally not let you sleep tonight. But he's blushing about it, and that's so fucking adorable, and I love it. You mean... I felt my cheeks prickling as he looked down to hide his own blushing. Oh, stop! Look, it annoys me when we're like, oh, you mean, oh, I'm gonna get all embarrassed. You've had sex with this man 1,000,000 times. Stop it. But, like, in this instance, I'm not mad about it, because he's also blushing like a nerd, so, like, you know what? It's fine. We're both blushing like idiots. He was silent for a few seconds, then raised his head and looked me in the eye. I know he's like, I don't know what that was, buddy. Space. He spoke my name gently, and I gave a small nod. I mean, we got to see the cutest baby Dante CG, and now we're gonna get laid. Like, good God, this is the end of a great way to end the episode. Dante drew closer and gently placed his lips upon mine. Bird, simmer the fuck down. Dante must be carrying burdens beyond my imagination as the sole heir of the Falzone family business. I could have spoken to him about his parents sooner. There's like a side story, but we're like over fucking time. Alright, you know what? We'll read it, but I've got to take a little bit of a step over here because the bird is getting really fidgety, and if he poops on me, I'm gonna get mad. Because he knows better. Like, but he's been holding it for an hour. Come here. And now he's getting real fidgety, so I'm gonna put him in a spot. You go? Okay, good boy. Good boy! Thank you! He's a good birdie, you can come back now. Alright, sorry. It's like, look, if we're gonna go another minute or two, I gotta, because he's just gonna all of a sudden leave me and go sit on my banister and poop on my pillows or my fucking blankets or some shit, so it's like, I just gotta get him to a spot, so we're fine. Anyway. And the time has come for this country, lacking in resources, to transform into a superpower to be reckoned with. And there's no other way to save the large number of unemployed than to conquer new territories. In order for us to prosper as a nation, we must all work together and embrace, not liberalism or conservatism, but nationalism. Indeed, Gerlandio, you're quite sharp. But not at all. I'm certain there are great changes in motion for the Republic of China as well, so for the time being, we can all prepare for them. Gil is in this fucking room. As I've said, the tides are changing in Italy. And there's no future for the Mafia stuck in their old ways. And the mayor who was in the pocket of the Burlone Mafia was killed too. It was such a tragedy. I feel like you had something to do with it. Perhaps someone who sought a brighter future for the country took things into their own hands. Yes, you may be right. And the new mayor elected will be someone with strong party ties, which means I'll have greater power in this town. I do hope we can be the best of friends. We would be honored. Isn't that right, Rui? I apologize. He's not yet proficient in Italian. And not to worry. I do hope you become accustomed to living here soon, Rui. Umberlone is such a small backwater town. Allow me to invite you to Rome someday. Or Rui. As he prattled on, I took another bite of my meal. Want me to go to Burlone? I am aware some survivors are doing their best to keep the Lao Shu intact, but they're as good as finished. We need someone to lead the... I can't read that. I know I can't read. I didn't... Anyway. Word I can't read. Anyway, there. Which is why you've been appointed. I know it will be a burden, Rui, but you have Lee to help, so be sure to play nice with him. The Luhuan who is thinking of punishing the Burlone Mafia, but until we take action, try not to pick a fight. So you want me to be a scout, then? Don't have the means to fight the Burlone Mafia just yet. We'll just have to wait. I needed to report to Yuan periodically. It was much easier than working under him. Well, I'll just take it easy for now. At least I can enjoy the food this country has to offer. If only I could have spoken to him about his parents sooner. If only I could have been by Dante's side from childhood. Such thoughts of impossible things float into my mind. Alright, perfect timing. I mean, not really, because it's like 5 minutes overdue, but like, well, 7, whatever. But anyway, oh no! My mouse died again. Damn it! Anyway. So yeah, I will wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.